And I'm going to make some changes to this. But right now, we were, well, in the previous session, live coding session, we were on the working on this dashboard. We also made a design system. A design system is a way to tell the AI that how do you want to have it when it makes changes to your code, base those changes or follow the guidelines in a file to make sure that all of your web app has the same vibe, the same colors, the same feeling. So we work on that design system from the previous online live session. And now I want to continue working on this, some features that I want to add to this. So basically, it's going to be three things. The first one, it's going to be, I want to be able to preview this article in this same website or in this same dashboard to make sure that it looks like I want it to look. Also, we're going to be working on the roles that can access this part of the website. Only users with an admin role should be able to access this website. And also, we're going to be seeing how to add a thumbnail in here to add in an image that it's going to be uploaded to Amazon AWS S3. Okay, so that's basically what we are going to be working on today. So it's, to be honest, it's pretty much, there's a lot of things, things that can go wrong and can make this take longer than expected, but let's do it. So I'm going to be doing this with you in like, I haven't done this with this website. So if you look that I'm changing ideas or something, does this sound? So there was a strange sound. Okay, hopefully it is better by now. Okay, so yes, I was telling you that I'm doing this live, so I don't have like anything predefined how it should be. So I'm going to be speaking, explaining my ideas. If you see that I changed some things that I was doing, or that I moved something from one place to the other, it's because I'm doing this with you. Okay, so let's start. So first, let's start by seeing we're making the admin roles. Okay, so I think that's going to be more interesting. So for example, let's open the code, and here is the code. Okay, I'm going to save these changes. These were from the previous session, and these were okay. So index. Okay, so style to admin dashboard like this, and we're going to save the changes. So let's close everything to start from a blank canvas. So okay, so I'm using Cursor. This is Cursor where I'm developing coding, and I'm also using Laravel. Laravel is a PHP framework. I really like it. I have used it for several projects. Right now, we're going to be using this one. Even though I'm also starting to use Laravel-like framework for JavaScript for Node, it's called Adonis, and maybe in the future, well, for sure in the future, I'm going to make sessions using the Adonis. But right now we're using Laravel for PHP. Okay, so I'm going to let's work on the admin in the roles. Okay, so for the admin roles, we need to have several things. So I'm going to open a notepad. Let's see if I can. I'm going to write in here. So first, we need a roles table in the database. Okay, and here we are going to see to tell which roles exist in our web app. For example, an admin, an editor, an author. Okay, or you can have like any roles that you want. We need to have a table that um, that's a relationship that works as an as a middle as a intermediate table to relate that roles table with the um, with the users. Okay, so this is going to be a many to many table, and then we need to have another table. Sorry, not table. This is going to be a service provider to make everything easier in our in our how do you say it, when we are using them in our blade templates. And also I think we are going to need, so yes, when we are going to need a middleware. Okay, so there we have it. These are the four that yes, the four things. I know I think three, there are actually four if I'm not forgetting something. So service provider, for declarations, for statements, for conditionals, for view conditionals, and middleware for root permissions. Okay, so that's basically what we need to do right now. So okay, so in just a moment. Okay, okay, just a moment. I'm making sure that everything's okay. So okay, there we have it. So this is what we're going to be working on today. Okay, so where do we start? We first need to have a roles table. So I'm going to go to create a table. I'm going to run it to create a table using PHP, the CLI from Laravel. So it's basically PHP artisan. We're going to see all of the commands. PHP artisan. I'm going to make this be taller. So we need to make a migration. So where's the migration? Okay, make a migration. So PHP artisan make migration, and it's going to be called create roles table. Roles table. Yeah, this is going to be the name of the table. So we're going to go to the migration. Here we have it, roles migration. Okay, so we need to have first the name, string name, and then we are going to have the I like to have something called like a slug. It's not exactly a slug, but it's like kind of like an ID, but it's not a number, so I don't want to have any issue with this. So we can call it slug, or yes, we're going to have to leave it as a slug to not complicate to not further complicate this. So just let me open here. Okay. Okay. So this is going to get interesting pretty fast. and drop exists. Okay, so now we are going to run this migration. So migrations. Okay. Yes. So instead of slot, we're going to call this label. So now we need to create another table that it's going to be the where's this PHP artisan make migration, and this is going to be our middle table, intermediate table. So it's going to have, the tables are going to have a many-to-many relationship, but that it we shouldn't have a many-to-many relationship between two tables, because it can create unexpected behaviors. I don't know if MySQL has the behavior, that feature available. There are other programs that they do have it, but it creates unexpected behavior. So that's why we're going to have an intermediate table. So let's create, and Laravel is going to know how to use this intermediate table, but we need to have it in that table needs to have a really specific name. So it has to have the name of the two tables that it's going to relate as singular, and it needs to be in alphabetical order. So if we are going to relate the roles table with the users table, this table needs to be called, so that's URSTUR. So first we need the role, and then user, and then table. Okay. So this is the table. We in this table we don't need the ID, because we are going to have so I'm going to call this table. I don't like to do this, so I'm going to just call this unsigned big integer, like this, user ID. That's correct. This is exactly how it works. Well, not exactly. So I'm going to move this to in here, and I'm going to have this in here. So like this, like this. I like to have it like this. So in this one, I don't like. Okay, so yes, this is how I like it, but I like to do this like this. Okay, like this, like this. So I'm going to make something on the link that I want to have restrict, and in here restrict. Okay, so what is this doing? I have this column, user ID, role ID, that these are the columns that are going to be related to the users table and the roles table. And we are going, this is the relationship between this table and those tables, the user ID and the role ID. And also I want to restrict. So for example, if I'm going to delete a user, and it has and that user is in this table, I don't want the deletion to be executed. So it's going to make an exception, like an error, and it's going to not allow the user to delete that user. Okay, so that's basically what I want to do, because I don't want to cascade the deletions, and I also don't want to make it nullable, but it's because it's going to make the database not unusable, but it's not going to be clean. Okay, so now let's continue with this. So now I need to have, I don't know if I need a role model. So just a moment. So, okay. Okay, and okay. Okay, so I forgot that I need to add um, um, a model. So we're going to make PHP artisan make. I want to make a model, and the model is going to be called role. So I don't want. Yes, we can create a database seeder factory. Migration, no, we already have it, and that's everything. Okay. So role factory, we have the model. It's in here, and use has factory, yes. And we are going to yes, we're going to make this fillable belongs to many. So we need this like this, and I need to add that in here. So this is, so what's this? So I don't need this. Yes, like this. Okay, and now I also need to add this same relationship to my user model. So the user model, it's going to be okay in here, and we're going to make okay, roles belongs to many like this, and we're going to add it in here. Okay, so now just a moment, I want to make sure that I'm not yes, I think this is working. Okay. Okay, so now in here later on we will need to do get user roles and get, so we are going to have to see if the user has a role or just, we're going to just have it like this. Okay, so now let's go to okay, so let's see if this is working. We're going to make a first factory, so it's going to be a role factory and name label. So we're going to call this name fake unique world, but this one is going to be, so I want this one to be capitalized. So I'm going to write fake world in the name like this and like this. Yes. So the name is going to be, it's going to have the first letter capitalized and the second one not capitalized. Sorry, in the label not capitalized. So I can just use here fake word like this. I don't think this is going to be required, to be honest, because if I go to the seeder and I go to the role seeder, in here, so for example, I have the article seeder. Okay, yes. So article seeder, role seeder. So we're going to make 3. So it's going to be called create, like this, and name it's going to be like this. This is exactly what I wanted. So this is the role admin, and the role, this is going to be the author role, like this. Okay, so now if I go to the database seeder, and I'm going to call the role seeder. Okay, I think that's everything. Okay, so now let's see for a user if we can get its roles. So for example, I'm going to make here an admin user. So it's going to be so it's going to be user create. So not like this, admin. And then for this user, so I'm going to call this admin user. And then at the end in here, I want to attach one of the roles that it's going to be the admin role. So I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see if it gives me any errors. So before doing this, I'm going to do it manually. So let's see, I think it's going to work. So now let's call this seeder. So if I go to where is it? So if I go to here, I'm going to run PHP artisan dv wipe to delete the database, and PHP artisan migrate step seed. Let's see if it gives me any error. Okay, so it's giving me an error. Okay. Why is it not allowing me? Just let me move this here because we have this. We're using passwords in here, so just a moment. So I think this is going to work. Let's see. Okay, so it's giving me an error. Name, email. So why is it not allowing me to create a user? So let's see. Oh, okay, I got it. Yes, so the issue is that I'm not calling factory in here. So I need to call factory create like this. And because this has the default values that it should have. And now if I go also to role seeder, create role factory. I'm going to role seeder. I'm going to call this factory as well. So let's see if this works. Okay, so it's working. Now, if I go to the database, and let's see all of the users. So select ID name from users. Okay, so I only have these two users, and select all from roles. Okay, in these roles. But if I select everything from role user, it's going to give me nothing. Okay, so now we need to attach this one of these roles, the admin role, for example, for the admin user. So if I go in here, so here, let's see. I think this is going to work. Let's see. So I think this is going to attach the number one role. So let's see. Okay, so now if I select all from use, okay, so the admin user, it's getting the admin role. Okay, and now let's do the same for an author user, like this. And we're going to do this. So now if I run this, so let's see. Okay, so yes, the user ID 1 is the admin user with the role ID 1, and the user ID 2 is the author user, and it has the role ID 2. So now, what do we need to do? Okay, so first, I want to explain what's going on in here. So Laravel, it's pretty intelligent in this sense, and it detected that user belongs to many role, but also the role belongs to many to user. So that's why I can call user, then two roles, and then attach. So it's understanding what's going on behind the scenes. So that's why it's working. It's kind of magic. But yes, it needs to have specific things. For example, the table needs to be called first in alphabetical order. That is only one of the things that needs to have. So now, we need to see if we need to analyze if a user has a role. Okay, so how can we do this? Let's go to, so for example, if I go to here, and it's going to give me, okay, so I'm going to access as the admin. Okay, so I'm going to go to dashboard, and there are all of these articles, and I am admin. But how can we do this? So what would be the best way to do it? So we're also going to create another user that's going to be a regular user. So we are going to go here, and in this database seeder, we're going to create regular user. Regular user, and then we are not going to attach any role. Okay, so we're going to run these migrations again. So now we need to make sure that this user cannot access this dashboard, this page. So let's log in, and in the login we're going to use regular user. So I think that was the, so that's regular, just regular. Okay, so let's log in, and that regular users shouldn't be able to see this how do you say it, this page. Okay, so how are we going to do this? So let's go to in here we need to have a middleware. So if we go to app, this HTTP, so we don't have a middleware. So let's create a middleware. So we're going to run PHP artisan, and we are going to look for make middleware. Okay, so PHP artisan make middleware, but we are going to ask for help like this, so to see what are the options that we have available. So just a moment, middleware. Okay, okay, so I'm going to make a middleware that it's going to be called, I'm going to give it the name management. Okay, so we're going to go to middleware. Okay, so this, it didn't allow added the middleware keyword, so I'm going to delete this file, and I'm going to create it again, but I'm going to call this management middleware, like this. So now it's going to create it again, and I have it in here. So in here we need to add all of the things that we wanted to analyze, but before allowing the request to go through. So first, I need to make sure that the user is authenticated, because if not, it's going to give me other errors that I don't want to show. So for example, I want to make an if out check. So it's going to check if the user that is making the request is authenticated. But if it's false, I want to abort this as a 404. Why 404? I mean, you could add an authorized action or something like that, but I don't want people to see that I have that is a website a page that exists. So I just going to make an abort, like this page doesn't even exist. If I didn't make this out check, it's going to try and log in, and the error is going to be another one, and I don't want to. So that's why I'm adding the abort 404 status code. And now I want to we're going to verify that the user has the role. but we need to do this in a specific way. So let's go to web. Okay, so I'm going to save this for the moment, and I'm going to save all of these things. So for example, user, role factory, this. So this and this. Okay, so creating roles. Okay, now I can close all of these. Now we're going to go to web roots. So it's web roots. And by the way, this way of managing roles for user, this way of you can do it in several different ways. You can do it with just the users table. You can do it with a direct relationship between roles and users. This specific way that I'm using, I learned it from laracasts.com. Laracast is I have no affiliations with them whatsoever. I was just a student, but it's going to allow. I learned that this method to manage user roles in one of their courses. So I really recommend it. If you want to go deeper with the different ways to do it, you can go there. So now I'm going to remove this from the out middleware, and I'm just going to go to here. So like this. So now this is going to be middleware management. Okay, so just a moment. Okay, yes. So now let's see if this works. So okay, let's see what's the best way to do this. So I'm going to delete this. I really don't. Okay, I'm going to leave it. Let's see if it gives me any problem. Okay, so management group, and then inside this we are going to have other middleware. So for example, so just a moment. Okay, so in here so I want to have another okay, so okay, so okay, got it. So we need to define the name of the middleware. So this is going to be defined in the app PHP. So that is in Bootstrap app.php. Okay. So okay, so we are going to, with middleware, so we are going to write middleware. This is going to be called append to group management, and so we could, if I need to make another middleware, so we're going to do this in a moment, and I'm going to make the middleware. We are going to give it an alias of role, and this is going to be called, this is going to be the management middleware. So I think, so yes, but I need to add it in here like this. So we're creating this alias. And okay, but this, I need to add something in here. So I need to create a new middleware in here, because if not, I'm not going to be able to separate, well, yes, maybe yes, but I need to separate these the roles, like first see if the user has any role, and then see if the user has that role. So first see if the user can access the admin section, and then validate that the user has access to that specific action of that the role is giving the user. Okay, so yeah, it's a little bit tricky. So let's make a new middleware. So okay, so it's giving me an error here. I'm going to delete this just for a moment, just so it allows me to do this. So it's going to be called load roles middleware, like this. Now in here, I'm going to have append to group, and in here I'm going to have so this is load roles middleware, load roles middleware, yes. And in here we are going to have append to group, load roles middleware class, like this. So now I'm going to go to here. Okay, so let me open this. Okay, so now I'm going to make out check, and I'm going to add to the context, but I'm going to add them as hidden, because I don't want them to be added to the object. I don't want them to be visible for that model, for that object. So we're going to add this as roles, and so like this, just okay. And in here I'm going to make to map. So I'm going to map map and so nice things that I don't want. So it's going to be to lower. No, but it's I don't know why it's adding this garbage. So then I need to do out user roles plug. So like this to array. Yes. So it's now I'm adding the roles but hidden for each of the object. In this case, the user. Okay. So now if I go to management middleware, I need to now create something that is called has any role. So okay. So now let's do, I'm going to move this over here. And in here, okay, so I need this in here. Okay. So now I need to open the user model. And I'm going to make these roles, but I also need to make a function that verifies if the user has a role. So has role. So let's see. Has role. So the thing in here is that the roles can be saved in the context, and the context makes the request be faster. And if they are saving the context, for example, if you want to check, if you're going to be checking the verifying the role of each user, like in all of the requests, well, you don't want to check to make a database query each time that you want to check the role of a user, if the user has a role, sorry. So we can load that in the context. So that is what I'm going to try to do right now to add it to the context. So, well, we're going to see if it's in the context. Sorry. So, has hidden. Okay. I like how Cursor is trying really hard to make this work, and it's like many times it gets it wrong, but there are times that it gets it right. So this looks okay. I'm just verifying. Okay. So this is the fallback to the database query, and check if roles are loaded from middleware. Okay. So this is adding the roles to the context. Okay. So I think I need to add context in here. Yes. So this is going to give me an error. So okay. And I think I also need to add out in here like this. Yes. Now we're going to use public function. No, that is what I'm telling you. Like, it's trying really hard to help me, but it gets it wrong many times. But the one time but it does get it correct other times, and those times it really helps you. But this is only getting better. So now we're going to verify if this has any role. Okay. If context has hidden roles, okay. So this is it's getting it wrong. So this is going to be where in. So I think yes, I think I got it. For example, I think the name, it's okay. It's just an issue with like, should the name field have the uppercase, or should the label field have the uppercase? I mean, I could argue both of them. Like, any of them could be the one that has the uppercase. So in this case, I'm just going to leave it like this. But so this is not loaded from middleware, so it's are cached in the context. Like this. So now has hidden this. This is not work. This is not going to work. I'm going to just copy this because I already have it in here. So context. So matches array intersect array map. Yes, return empty. Okay. Let's see. Now, I don't know if I need to add something. Yes, I need to add the context. I just need to make sure. So yes, context. Okay. So now I think we can go to roots finally. We can finally go to roots, and I'm going to remove this. Let's see. So let's see. Root. Here I'm going to have another middleware, root middleware, like this. Like this. Okay. So now I want to have all of these inside this. Okay. And let's see. So this doesn't need to have this. Okay. Okay. So let's try make this work. So for example, now if I go in here, let's see. Okay. So if I go into incognito mode, it's going to give me a 404 error, so not found. But if I log in with, for example, the admin user, it's going to allow me. So what are we looking? Okay, so yes, I need to go to admin. Okay, so it's allowing me to go in here. So now if I log out, so I'm going to go in here, log out, and then I go to log in again. I'm going to log in with the not the regular user, the outer user. Okay, so the regular user is not going to have, not going to be able to see anything in there. Like if everything's going. Okay, so it's not working. We need to work on this. The regular user should not be able to go into this page. So need to work on that. And let's check with the outer user. Okay, so it's also allowed. So let's see what's going on here. So let's see. So okay, so I'm not checking here. So I'm not checking that it's authenticated. But so now I need to check in here. I need to use roles. So we're going to have the roles like this to expand them. So if our user has any roles, abort. Let's see. Let's do this. So it's going to be no authorization, not authorized. Okay, so yes, let's see if this works. So this user is not authorized. That is the author user. This is beautiful. So let's log out. So now if I log in with the regular user, and I go to admin, it's not authorized. So I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Yes. So for example, if I go to here and I log out, and I log in now with the admin user, and I go to admin, let's see if this works. I think it's going to work. Yes. So the admin user can go into the dashboard, into the admin user, and if any user doesn't have those permissions, it's going to give them, this is giving them a 404 error because it's not authenticated. But if in any case, I can change this, and I can change this to a 404 error as well. And I want to delete this. So if a regular user just go into here and tries to go to admin, it's login, it's going to think that there's no how do you say, a website in there, a page in there. So if I log out and I go with the author, and I go to admin, it's also going to give me another the same error, like nothing exists there. Okay, so now let's do something where the author can go in. For example, and I'm still missing something really important for the views. Right now we are just checking if a user can access a root, but now I also want to add some things to only show specific elements in the dashboard to a user. So let's do this. I'm going to do that in a moment. I just want to save these changes. So I'm going to roots are protected from using middleware. Like this, things changes. Okay. So now, I want to. So, for example, admin author can see the admin website page. Sorry. But for example, let's make a root that's only available to the admin. So for example, I don't know. For example, this to see the users. Okay. So for example, if I go to okay, so if for example I go to the admin controller, where is it? Admin controller, and I make a view only to see users, for example. So for example, if I go to admin, where's admin? So resources, views, admin, index. So for example, if I don't want to see, so let's see, how can we do this? Let's do something. So let's see, let's make a file. It's going to be called view elements. So I'm just going to call it view like this, and it's going to be kind of like index. It's going to copy this, but in here we are going to have a title, and I'm going to delete this, and in here we're going to have elements and element. So element name, and I'm going to delete this, and element ID. So this is not going to work. I'm just going to right now, for the moment, add this. Okay. So now, for example, if I go to just a moment. Okay. If I go to the admin controller, and this is title users elements. Okay. Admin, that's correct. That's exactly how I want to see it. If I go, okay, so I need to log in. So log out, let's see. And then let's log in as an admin user. Admin at example. And we log in. And I go to admin. Okay, I can log in to articles. Okay, so now if I go to admin/users, okay, so it's giving me an error. I need to add user in here. Now it's not going to give me this error. Okay, so these are the users. Okay, and okay, so I'm going to add in here the, so not this, it's going to be the created at. So I want to have this format. So let's see. Okay, with this, but I want to have it. I think I can have it like this. Okay, yes, like this. Yes. And this is not going to be H4. I just want this to be a regular paragraph, and this is going to be like this, and I want to have opacity of 80. Maybe I could have this as font bold, like this. So, and I'm going to add the users, how do you say, the users section or option in this sidebar. So okay, so let's go to so yes, the sidebar index articles. So I need to have the admin layout, and I'm going to add so blog management. So now I want to have users management, like this. Okay, so now if I go to here, I have users. I'm going to add something like something like this. Let's see. Okay, yes, so users, and I can click users on, or I can go to so I don't want to have this. I want to have something like so as you can, if I go to dashboard, I can see all of the articles in here, right? And I can create an article, but the dashboard is going to have other things, not just articles. So I can go to blog. So I would rather go to blog to create an article than have this button like in here. So let's do that. So let's go to in here, and I'm going to make these so like this, and I'm not going to have this, so I don't want this. To be honest, I don't want like all of these things. To be honest, I don't want anything like this. I just want this. So, well, the only thing that I do want is this element, the SVG. So I'm going to delete all of this, and it's going to be like this. So I want to have what are my roots? Blog. So it's going to be articles like this. And I want just the articles. So that's articles like this. And I'm going to have it like this. So let's see. So it's because I changed the name. So I need to change all that has blog. So this needs to be articles. Yes, so it's articles. So this is also articles. So this is also articles. And this is, I think it's article admin.article. So blog.show. So it's going to be, yes, this is going to be blog. This is correct. And this is, so this is articles, I believe. This is articles. Web layout. Okay. Okay. I think this is working now. So if I go to articles, okay, just a moment. Users, okay, articles. So so this is in management minware 27 get articles. Okay, so in the admin controller I need to have they have the index, and I need to have a public function get articles like this, but it's not going to be articles. It needs to be admin.view, and so this is going to be called elements. And let's see. So okay, title, I need to add a title, blog articles like this. And if I save this, okay, so it's giving me an error because I'm not sending it with compact. So now I refresh. So now I have blog articles. I have the dashboard. So in the dashboard, so for example, in the dashboard, I don't want to have this button in here. So I'm in here. I'm going to copy this. Now, if I go to view and I go in here, so this is going to have the title. I'm going to delete this. And in here, I'm going to just write create. And in here, I'm going to just, for the moment, have it like this. Okay, so I'm just going to have it like this. So it's articles create. It's not doing anything right now, but I also have it now in users. Okay, so now dashboard doesn't need to have this. So I can just go to so I just can call this the admin dashboard, and I can have like a like a stats page, for example, the number of articles, number of users, and go to each one of them or show the latest ones. So for example, if I go to admin controller, I'm going to index and users. So yes, like this. And now if I go to resources, so it's resources, views, admin. I have index. That's the main dashboard, dashboard page. View, to view specific elements, and edit elements, to edit any of those elements. So now if I go to this is the admin dashboard, and then so I'm going to call this like this. And for example, instead of getting all of the articles, I just want to get the last 3. So for example, get, so limit, for example, just last 3. And then for example, have a button to look at all of the articles, and then do the same thing but for users. So users, user, in here, users as user, username, and this is to be user created at, and then view all users, and this is going to give me an error. So for the moment, I'm just going to add this. So let's see. Okay, so I don't like the style, but it's something that I can work on. So for example, I will move this button to here and do something like this. So for example, I don't like this. But I will do something like items and like this, and then do it something like H2. Let's see. So maybe H3. So, but make it a little bit bigger. So that's going to be text, I don't know, 2XL. And in this one, it's not going to be H4, but P. Font like this, like this, like this. So let's see. Okay. So, I mean, it's not perfect, and to be honest, there's a lot of things that I could improve. So for example, I wouldn't add a border in here, and I wouldn't add a border in here as well. So now okay, so this is going to be P paragraph. Sorry, not this one, this one. So like this, and then I could add more functionality to this, but I'm going to do it later. So in here I could add so I don't like how this is looking. So yes, this is not giving me exactly what I want to. So I'm just going to delete. Later on, I could add some stats, but this is not giving me useful information because it's just giving me the number of elements that I retrieved from the database, and that's really not what I want to show in here. Like I want to show all of the count of all of the articles. So I'm going to just delete it for the moment, and I'm not going to add a gap in here. It's going to be like this. And I'm going to remove this. I don't want to have a button. So I just want to view all articles, view all users. And what else? What else can we do? So delete the gap in here. Okay, no, sorry, not that one. Like this one, okay, it's better. And okay. And this has gap. Okay, so now I'm going to have all of these in here, and this is going to have class. So this is going to be, I'm going to delete the gap. So gap 0.5, a little bit of gap only. And I'm going to do this in here as well. Like this. Okay. So now I can see all of the articles and all of the users. Okay. I don't know if I could. So what is this? Okay, this. So is there a difference if I do this? Yes. So look how this is going to go to the center because it's centering around the bottom. Okay. So now I can show you, for example, if I don't want the author to be able to see all of the users, I'm going to limit his access to this route. So this is gap 4. So gap 2, gap 2. Okay, gap 2, and this is gap 4. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to save this separated articles and users in its own dashboard tab like this. Okay, so now so for example, if I go to web roots, in here, and I say, okay, so only the user with the role admin can see the users. So this user is the user admin, and it can see the users. Okay, I need to work on this. But now, if I log out and I log in as a regular user, I shouldn't be able to look at anything inside the admin dashboard. Okay, the page doesn't exist for me. But now, if I log out and I go and I log in as an author, and I go to admin, well, it can see the articles, but it shouldn't be able to see the users. So look how it's giving me a 404 error, but it's seeing it in here. So an author, something that it's using this dashboard, is going to be like, that's pretty strange. I can see users, but I cannot access it. Is that an error? Do I don't have the permissions? Why do I don't have the permissions? And all of those things. So let's work on that. Let's make this user only be able to see the routes that it has access to. And a quick break, parenthesis, what it's I chose to use this method to add roles, like with this table. Where's the table? So database migrations with this table and this intermediate table, because it allows me to add more roles like pretty easily. Like I can just create a role, for example, I don't know, editor or finance or something, and I can just add it to the database. And yes, I will need to add that role, for example, in here, to be so that they are able to see all of that. So I will not need to add it in here, but if I wanted to add it to give them access to these routes, I just need to add it there. I don't need to make a lot of changes in my database or logic. It's pretty basic. Like it makes it really easy when you're already working on production. So that's why I chose to use this, to follow this structure or this paradigm to define roles. Okay. So now let's make that this user only has access or can only see the methods that it has available. So just want to make sure that this is correct. Okay, yes. So now let's go to, this is going to be done with an app service provider. I just want to close everything, and we need to register it. So where's the provider? Okay. So let's make a provider. PHP artisan help. Well, not help. Let's see everything. Make provider. Okay. So PHP artisan make provider. So I'm going to give it the name app service provider. Provider already exists. Sorry about that. So it's in here. Yeah, sorry for that. So now I want to add some directives in here. So we are going to first create the directive to role. So what I want to do is in the view component, in the index component, I want to be able to tell it that this the users tab can only be visible to a user that has the permissions for that to access that information. So for example, I'm going to add a like this, like this. And so for example, I want to add like um, a directive in here, state a conditional that says something like, so it's going to be, how does it look in the end? So for example, I'm looking for an example. So, yes, for example, just a moment. So, that's okay. So, how does this look? So let's do it another way. Okay. Yes. So this is going to look like this. Role. So only the role, the admin role, can look anything that is inside here. Okay. So I want to be able to declare this directive. So I'm going to define this in the app service provider, and it's going to be blade directive role return. So yes, check if it's authenticated and if it has any role. So expression, and this is an array. Like this. And role. Okay. So what's basically doing is when I write the add role with something inside it, like admin, it's going to basically move that to add this PHP code, and it's going to make that it's going to validate that it's that the action is authorized. Okay, so I think that's basically everything. So I need service provider execution. I don't know if yes. So I need to add blade and out. I don't know if out is required. I think it's not, but blade definitely it is. So let's see if this is working. Okay. So now if I go in here, let's see. Okay, so let's restart the server. Okay. Okay, so it's not working. Let's see what's going on in here. So I'm going to add a button here to log out. So I'm going to go to here and in the sidebar in here, okay, in here I'm going to add logout button. So I don't know why it's not. I know. I mean, I do know why it's not adding it, but I get mad. So let's save it and let's see. And now I have the logout button in here. So look how the sidebar is taking all the space. So I'm just going to remove. So absolute. No, I don't like it like that. I don't want it to be absolute. So, okay. So I want the button to be W full. So it's already full. Let's see something. So why it's not taking all the space? Oh, okay. I think I got it. So, oh yes. So this should be P4, and why it's it. Let's see, P4. Okay. So it's this one's adding additional padding. I don't want it. Okay. And okay. So there's a way to work on this. For the moment, I mean, I could send it to the bottom. So let's do it. Well, I don't want to get not confused, but I want to focus right now in the roles. So I'm not going to do it right now. I'm just going to leave it like this. So let's log out. So now let's log in. Let's see how how does it look for a user that has the permissions. So I'm going to go to admin, users, and as you can see it in here. Okay. So now if I log out and log in with one that doesn't have the permissions, and I go to admin, so now this tab shouldn't be visible. Okay. So let's see what is going on here. So okay, so let's see. Providers bootstrap. Okay, so it's returning the app service provider. And okay, so why is not working? Oh, okay, I think let's roll. So why it's not working? Let's ask. Why is this directive not working if I already defined it in app service provider? So let's send the message. Why is it not working? I'm missing something here. I don't know if it's correct. Let's see. So first, wish. Okay, so it's okay. So, but it already has this one. So, for example, if I go to the user model and I go to, it has the roles relationship. So I don't want this. It shouldn't have this. So has roles. Yes, I don't want this. And okay, what else is it saying? Is using has any role with a single string parameter, but the method expects an array. Let's fix it. Okay, so let's see. What does this do? So I think I already had it like that. Expression, return PHP if out. Yes, I'm doing exactly that. So where it is? I think I'm missing something. Well, obviously I'm missing something. And what else? Okay, I already assigned it. So let's see. Let's see if this is running. So instead of having this, I'm going to echo I don't know, something. Let's see if it gives me an error. Okay. So I see. So maybe I will need to go in 10 minutes, and I'm going to continue these 10 minutes trying this. But if not, I'm going to do it in the next session. I'm going to correct this issue to find out where the issue is. I really don't know what am I missing, and I really want to fix it. So I'm going to really try it. So for example, enroll. Okay. So let's see. Management layouts. So what am I missing? execution. So what am I missing in here? Let's ask ChatGPT. Just a moment. So ChatGPT.com. Let's see. Let's see if it can help me. So, how can I define directive, applet directive in Laravel 12 using app service provider? Okay. App providers, yes. Okay, yes. Yes, that's what I'm using. Okay, so I'm going to change this to echo what it's telling me in here. Like this. Let's see. So it should work. Like, I don't know, maybe I already restarted this, but it should. So maybe I'm not in the same. So let's see, users. Yes. So yes, it's. Oh, I think I think I'm seeing the error. So for yes. So that's. So I'm really sorry. This was working. But I was doing these are the issues with when you are coding and you for example years ago when you were working with JavaScript, if you forgot like a semicolon, it was giving you an error and you were like, where is this error happening? So that there are pretty basic errors, but they happen. So I think now this should work. So so user, yes. So role admin and role, and let's see. So yes, it's not showing. Sorry for making you think that I was missing something. So let's save this and add it role directive. Added blade role directive. So commit the changes and sync them. So now if a user that doesn't have the admin permissions or privileges is not going to see that button in here. But if it goes to users, it's going to say that it's not found. But now if I log out, okay, and we need to make that in here as well. So I wasn't that how do you say it? I wasn't having I was partially correct, just looking in a different place. So now if I go to login and I log in as an admin user, and I go to admin, and I can see users in here, and it's working. So now dashboard, we need to also hide users in here. So where is it? So let's go to index and role admin and role like this. And now it's not going to show for that users. So it's showing for the admin user, but if I log in as an author, so author, and I go to dashboard, I cannot see our users and I cannot see the users in here. So that's basically how you do it. So it was more than what I wrote in here. So yes, we need a roles table. We need a table that works as the intermediate table. Then we need the service provider. So this one was step 4, and this one is step 5. Sorry, this one step 3, step 4. And so this was 2 middlewares. The load roles to the context as hidden context, and the middleware for the role permissions. Okay. So second, something like second middleware, just for load role in the context. So the context is just maintained for the session, as far as I understand. So what else? Added roles. Directive to users in admin dashboard, like this. Sync changes. So yes, this was required. So I'm just going to don't save this, and let's see what else. So now I'm going to go to here, and I just want to show you something really fast in here, because I'm going to use it to create an article. So for example, if I go to articles and then create, I want to, so this is not, so let's make this to work. Yes, I knew I was missing something in here. So this is index. This is the view, providers, okay. Okay. And this, okay. So for example, in here, if I open the admin controller, I'm going to say something like, for example, get articles, that is using admin view. So for example, I'm going to add something like an action route like this. So yes, that is the route. And now if I go in here, that is the route, an action route. And I need to add this in here. Now if I go to view, edit, in here, I need to add the action route. Okay, so let's see if this works. So now if I go to articles, Okay, so this is not working. Action group. Okay, sorry. So that's to edit. So I'm just going to add it in here. So I'm going to add something like create root. So this is create root and create root. And in here, it's going to be called, instead of action root, it's going to be called create root. So now if I reload this and I click on create, I'm going to be able to create an article. And if I'm going to log out and I'm going to log in, sorry, I wanted to do it in here. For example, if, well, it's not going to allow me. So I'm going to log out, and I'm going to log in as an admin. So log in, and then I'm going to go to admin. I need to improve this. So if I go to users, this root is not defined. So I need to, so in here, to avoid this, I'm just going to make, say, something like, I don't know, null. So let's see what does it appear in here. So it's null. So it's not doing anything here. But if it's not defined, I want to not show it. So for example, in here, I'm going to add is set like this. So if it's set, it's going to add it. If not, it's not going to add it. So now it's not adding it in here, but it's adding it to articles. Okay. So in articles, I can go to create, and in users, I cannot create a user. I mean, I could, but I still don't have those roots, and I really don't want to be able right now to create users in this way. So I'm just going to not add it in here. Not add it in here, and it's going to work. So that's basically, well, okay, this is the edit. Let's do it fast. So let's go to in here. So like this. Something like this. I don't know if this is going to work. But then if I go in here, edit roots, okay. So yes, this doesn't, okay, articles. Oh, okay, got it. So I cannot do that like directly in here. I can just do something like this, and then slash like this, and then in here it's going to be edit root, and then dot this. So why was it giving me an error? Because when I try to get the edit root from here, this root, like if I use the roots method, this or function, this root requires an article ID, as you can see in here. So since I cannot send the article ID because it's going to be for all the articles, I'm going to hard code the edit root, that is this one, and then in the in the front end, I'm going to add the element ID for each one of the articles. So now if I want to edit this article, I can just click in here and I'm going to be able to edit it, and in here as well. So that's basically all for today. It was an interesting thing with the edit the role directive, define roles, admin roles, and I'm going to leave it in here. I'm going to continue in the next session, obviously, live coding session. And thank you for being here. Please let me know, like, anything if I can help you with, like, for example, something that you want to learn, for example, with Laravel or with AI or with JavaScript. Please let me know and send me a message or leave me a comment. And I'm going to see you on the next live session.